China punches US. Threat to US payments. CIPS against dollar. Hello friends, US President Donald Trump is doing everything to guard dollar's global dominance. By hook or crook, he wants to keep America as the undisputed big brother of the world. The dominance is his lifeline. But on the other hand, the dragon China has directly attacked this very dominance. Friends, the biggest reason for the dollar's dominance is the payment system called SWIFT, which is also dominated by America. Not the Suzuki Swift we are talking about here. This SWIFT is America's international payment system, and China now has brought its own alternative against SWIFT. It is called CIPS. In this Chinese system, cross-border transactions between banks can be done faster and at lower cost compared to America-dominated SWIFT system. Already 1,500 banks from 180 countries have adopted China's CIPS. This is an important point. Listen carefully. It is not 1,500 individuals from 180 countries, but 1,500 banks that are already using CIPS. That means through this bank accounts of people all over the world are already conduct international transactions. If this continues, it can shake the American dollar dominance for sure. So what exactly is this CIPS system? How it is different from SWIFT system? Will this make Chinese currency stronger against dollar and damage the dollar dominance? Let's look at everything step by step. Please stay with us till the very end. What is SWIFT? To understand the new strategy China has placed against America, first we need to understand the SWIFT system. So let's see what SWIFT actually is. It stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. This is a global payment system dominated by America. Today, if a bank in London can transact in seconds with a bank in some other country like India, the main reason is the SWIFT platform. Many people think that when you send money from one bank to another, the money actually moves physically. But no. What actually happens is just the changes in the numbers inside bank's ledger or accounts. This process is called settlement. But in international banking, doing the same kind of settlement is extremely hard and complex because different countries use different currencies. There are exchange rates, and each country has its own banking system. In such a situation, to settle accounts at the right time and confirm the transaction is very difficult. But SWIFT handles this job very efficiently. Until now, by using unique identifier codes, it ensures cross-border transactions happen smoothly. That is why today more than 200 countries and territories use SWIFT, almost every country. And around 50% of the world's international banking transactions happen through this SWIFT system. But now, the dragon China has started a counter to this American payment system, the dragon's weapon. Friends, using the power of the SWIFT system, America has been playing big games in the global payment network. America uses this system as a geopolitical weapon as well. If any country dared to go against America or try to challenge the dominance of the dollar, America would immediately cut off that country's access to SWIFT. This could stop cross-border transactions. As a result, trade of those countries would collapse. They would face massive losses. In 2012, Iran was targeted in this way. Recently, Russia was also targeted. Many countries have been attacked by America through SWIFT. Every time America imposes sanctions, its main weapon is SWIFT. Sometimes even without completely cutting access, they deliberately delay transactions of particular countries. This way, America has used SWIFT to bully the world. To put a break to this drama, China brought its own system, CIPS, Cross-Border interbank payment system. This is not actually brand new. China started this CIPS project in 2015 itself, but it was not implemented seriously. Only after Mr. Donald Trump began his trade war with tariffs, China accelerated the rollout of CIPS aggressively. They have worked heavily on it and improved it. China has invested billions into infrastructure and research of CIPS. Because of this, in the global market, CIPS is becoming stronger than the SWIFT. How? SWIFT only works as a messaging network. The actual settlement and clearing must be done through another system. But China's CIPS not only does the messaging, it also handles settlement and clearing by itself, all in one system. And moreover, it does this faster than America's SWIFT. For example, if a bank in Africa wants to transact with a bank in China using SWIFT, it can take 2 full days. But with CIPS, the same job is done within a few hours. That means faster work at a lower cost. Friends, America doesn't let SWIFT come cheap. To use SWIFT, banks must pay. On an average, for each transaction, SWIFT charges $20 to $50 from the sending bank and $10 to $20 from the receiving bank. In between, there are intermediary banks. They also take some charges. So in total, one transaction through SWIFT can cost between $50 to $100. Even though these are bulk, high-value transactions, $50 to $100 per transaction is still costly. But in China's CIPS, this cost is 20 to 30% lower. That is why many banks are now shifting towards CIPS. As we said earlier, already 1,500 banks from 180 countries have adopted CIPS. In 2023, through CIPS, 6.6 million cross-border transactions were conducted. But in 2024, this rose to 8.2 million transactions. The total value was around $24 trillion, that is close to 2,000 lakh crore rupees. Within just 1 year, the volume of transactions jumped by 43%. It is growing very fast. Many countries in Africa, Central Asia and Middle East are already saying the system is good and they're using it because they trade a lot with China. And you know, China sells its goods to everybody. And those trade deals are now happening through CIPS. And China is giving priority to its own currency, the Yuan or renminbi in CIPS. Remember, in the $24 trillion worth of transactions in 2024, not a single dollar was used. Everything was done in Chinese currency. The main reason America enjoys the big brother status is because of the dominance of the dollar. But now with CIPS making it possible to trade without using dollars, it is cutting into that dominance. Countries like Russia and Iran, which are already facing US sanctions, are happily adopting CIPS. They say, if we don't use SWIFT and don't use dollars, then how can America impose sanction on us? This is why China's CIPS is becoming a huge challenge to America's dollar dominance. But still, SWIFT cannot be destroyed immediately. It can take time because, as I said earlier, even today, half of the world's international transactions happens through SWIFT. More than 11,000 banks and financial institutions are using SWIFT. So it is not possible to change everything overnight. CIPS has only 1,500 banks now. So it still has to grow 10 times more to compete with SWIFT. And one more issue, CIPS is a Chinese system. It still needs to build trust globally. America may be cunning, but when people hear an American system or US-backed system, they feel it is reliable. Why? Because America is a stable democracy since hundreds of years. Yes, it has been a strong and stable democracy since 18th century. That makes people trust its systems. But in China, it is different. It is a communist dictatorship. If anyone questions Xi Jinping, they simply disappear. Nobody knows where they went. They vanish completely. So if CIPS wants universal acceptance, like SWIFT, China has to earn this trust. For example, for India to start using it, for neutral countries or Western nations to use it, China has to build strong credibility, and that will take time. But one thing is clear, the first step towards challenging America's dominance has already been taken by the dragon. Friends, what are your thoughts on this? Please let us know on the comment section below. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, and especially please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Let's meet again. Namaste.